Hello, everyone. Hello to our viewers. Today, we have got a very interesting person in Offstream Talks. He is Fazlul Haq. He is an ex-squadron leader from the Indian Air Force. Thereafter, he did his MBA from the US, and presently he is working for Tesla. So he's first of all, he's not Assamese. So he's from Bangalore. So we'll have to speak in English as of now. Otherwise, he's my postmate from NDA. After that, we were together in MiG 21s, and after leaving MiG 21s, he was in helicopters. We flew the Chetak Cheetah together. We were together in the helicopter training as well. Thereafter, he did his MBA and he went to the US. And all of a sudden, somewhere in LinkedIn or somewhere, it came out that he was working for Tesla. So to start with, Huck, very, very welcome to our show.
Welcome, Huck, to our show.
Thank you, Bhaskar.
Well, it's amazing to listen that you have been flying fighter jets, helicopter, and all the way to US, and now you are working for Tesla. Could you tell us your journey from Bangalore to NDA, and then from NDA to MBA in US?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me on the show, Ranjul and Bhaskar. My association with Ranjul goes back to 1998, back in NDA. The real fun, really, I think kicked in when we started flying. I think I could speak for both of us, Ranjul and myself. I was my first foray. So, though I'm not Assamese, I've lived in Tezpur. I've seen the entire Northeast, right? So the Mofta unit was in Tezpur then. Flew, across Brahmaputra so many times, and it was always so amazing. And then I, in fact, enjoyed the road trips within Assam even more, actually, because in fighter jets, within 40 minutes, it goes the length and breadth of Assam, almost, well, right? So, but then the tea gardens and the drives to Bhalupong, I remember, and the entire surrounding area is just amazing, and it's still so fresh in my mind. So I have a special place in my heart for Assam, the entire Northeast, and the people there, so sweet. I've always wanted to come back. So back from there, flew helicopters. Again, when I was posted to Bagdogra, and I went to Leh, then flew helicopters in Leh for some time. Then my last posting was in Gwalior, was with a missiles unit. Then I took a premature retirement from the Indian Air Force. I really wanted to stick with the aviation field, but on the management side. But then when I came here to the US to join my wife, I did fly for some time, flew helicopters for some time, tried to get a license, but always wanted to explore the management side, the aviation management side. It was always fascinating to me how everything came together, the finance part, the operations part of it, right? The people part of it, the airplanes and everything. How do they all come together to make a business successful? Wanted to pursue management in aviation. So I did try and explore Embry-Riddle University. I'm giving you some details about how I had to navigate these as an immigrant, right? Because as an immigrant, you have only certain things you can or cannot do. You always have to see what your end goal is, and if that university or that education can get you to the end goal. Embry-Riddle, unfortunately, was not getting me to the end goal. The end goal was to end up in a company like maybe Boeing or any of these aviation companies in the US that work very closely with the US Air Force, or has got anything to do with aviation. They require people to have top secret clearances. That is only given to people with maybe a citizenship in the US. So then I started exploring MBA in the general field.
Basically, if you want to stick to the aviation background and stick to these kind of companies and all, other than normal management courses, or like the Harvard or like Stanford or the MITs and all that, Embry-Riddle is one of the top universities who gives basically degrees specifically related to aviation field.
Correct. Yes, it's in Florida. It's got branches, I think, in Arizona and some other places too. So I soon started looking at a general MBA. I knew the time was of Essence, and I had to start preparing for GMAT. So if you want to know what course to do, or where to do it, or for how long to do it, then you'll have to figure out where you want to end up, first of all. Well, to cut a long story short, I wanted to end up in a company like Amazon. Cutting edge technology was also very welcoming of immigrants in the US. People like me who had this kind of operations background, who had a veteran background, and with MBAs, they were welcome. And that is how I got into Amazon's Pathway program. Pathways is especially for freshly graduated MBA students. Amazon was a major player. It was just starting off with its businesses in California at that point in time in 2013, or 2012, 2013. That's when I started off with my MBA. So I said, okay, which universities are they going to hire? And where is operations a really strong course? I soon homed in to Vanderbilt University. Vanderbilt is a well-known university in southern parts of part of United States in Nashville, Tennessee. They had a good leadership development program. I was very heavily on the military leadership, right? Very dictatorial kind of leadership, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Corporations do not work with dictatorial leadership, right? They need a lot of aspects from military. They need very collaborative leaders. They also need people who are data driven. They also need people who are decisive and also strong in operations. It's very difficult to get all in one. But Amazon had found that formula that veterans bring that kind of leadership. They value what veterans bring because we're very regimented. We know how to plan a mission and execute a mission according to plan. And that's exactly how I ended up in Amazon after 2 years of MBA. But I'll definitely throw light on Pathways program. So the Pathways program in Amazon is basically for freshly graduated MBAs. They put them on a fast track to becoming general managers and running entire buildings in Amazon. So the buildings are pretty big in Amazon in the sense that the businesses are so big. One of the buildings that I was last working in Amazon had thousands of associates and thousands of robots. Huge 1 million square foot, buildings, 3 or 4 different levels in those buildings. That's almost equal to 4 million square feet of build space. Phenomenal. I don't know if you've heard of Kiva robots. Basically, the basic function of a retail store is pick, pack, and ship, right? You order a book, that order shows up on my computer. The computer tells me where exactly in such a large warehouse I can find that book. It'll tell me the shortest route to getting there. And I go walking with a cart, I pick a book, and then I bring it to a packing station. Somebody will pack, and then it goes on a conveyor system, and somebody will ship. But robotic, buildings with Kiva robots in Amazon, there are plenty of videos also on YouTube. You should look out KIVA, Kiva. It's so cool that the picker is in one place, doesn't go anywhere. The robot goes and brings the shelf to the picker, wherever that shelf is. Of course, it's all optimized. It will bring the nearest shelf having that book to the picker. Picker just stands in one place, knows exactly where the book is because the computer will tell you which shelf, which bin, and then you pick the book without actually walking several miles. These associates usually in very traditional Amazon buildings when they started off used to walk several miles a day just to start picking, and it completely revolutionized the way pick operations are done. Even packing operations are pretty awesome. 2014 to 2016, about 2 years. So I was new, just like I was not. I just gone a few years in the US, wanted to see how a city government works too. A veteran, actually a US Army veteran, called me and he said, this is the right job for me. And he said, I'll be working with him and to actually move his entire department. He was working in public safety department and all that. So I got a really cool project. So I worked for a couple of years in the city of San Francisco, in the office of the Science and Technology, in the office in the mayor's office. City of San Francisco also is a very exciting place. It's one of the major cities in the U.S. Right, it's a very well-known city in the world, and just wanted to see, okay, in the heart of Silicon Valley, with all the technology companies with their headquarters all around the Bay Area, San Francisco is a place that the Ubers, the Twitters, the headquarters of all these like very innovative companies are in San Francisco. Plus, the people are very technology driven, but also live life to the fullest. That city is full of life. I made my jump to the city of San Francisco. Had an exciting 2 years there before Tesla grabbed me. They approached me and they said, "Hey, there's a position available." By then,
How did they find you?
on LinkedIn. So it's a great question.
Okay.
A great question. Actually, LinkedIn has become such a strong tool these days for recruiters and everybody to find their talent.
What was your job profile in that San Francisco city that made you attractive for Tesla?
I think it's a combination, right? The combination of the background, that I brought from the Indian Air Force, right? The operations, very heavy operations background there. Then the technology and people management aspect, both from military and Amazon, because I think both Amazon and Tesla also have given me that kind of life. And Tesla grabbed me, and it's been more than 2 years in Tesla. It is double the fun in Tesla.
Have you met Elon Musk?
Yes, I have, and it's like a shot in the arm, when you meet Elon. And I've seen him many other times also in larger gatherings when we have our town halls, when he addresses the entire company. He does live recordings from the Fremont factory. When he did that, I have attended those, but in a more personal setting, also I have met with him.
Probably full of energy, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's from Earth. So anyway.
Has to be. How can one guy start so many companies?
Genius. He's a genius. He's an inspiration.
Is he accessible, or like the way he portrays and all that?
He just makes himself available to anybody who can email him. It's a relevant topic and he's interested. He starts responding back to you, just like he does on Twitter too, right? He's monitoring Twitter too, like people tag him and all that. But then when he's interested, when he wants to respond and it's useful to him, he does. The other day, we also had a talk with one of the top engineers from SpaceX. Okay. And then we realized how much there is in common, like how much we learn from what happens in SpaceX, and how much energy, how much inspiration we draw from what happens in SpaceX. We were surprised that almost similar kind of energy and enthusiasm they derive from Tesla. Don't stop yourself at all, because if you have done some pretty awesome things and done research in some things, and you've already done something out of this world and you want to showcase it, I think definitely SpaceX and Tesla are such places for you. And I would encourage you to actually apply, and then immigration doesn't become a problem because they will find a way to get you in. Right? Again, US is a land of opportunities.
What was your role in that San Francisco mayor's office?
So everything for city of San Francisco is mayor's office, right? Whether it is a court system, whether it is a police system, or whether it's science and technology and Department of Technology. I was in Department of Technology there. So in Department of Technology, I was more like a program manager for their technology programs. They had many technology programs that helped, that assisted with the general public. Say, for example, the free Wi-Fi system. They wanted to get the entire city networked for free Wi-Fi. If you're walking on Market Street, one of the main streets in the in San Francisco, you will have uninterrupted free Wi-Fi provided to you from the city. Similarly, if you're walking, or if wherever you are in some very highly populated places, where even there are a lot of tourists too, right? So uh, they were trying to provide free Wi-Fi. I was taking care of all those, all and sundry, like anything that did not have a name to it exactly. I was thrown into it, like, hey, find a solution to this. That's what I loved about my job in the city of San Francisco, where they were like, there is a certain set of people who are doing a specialized thing here, another set of people specialized thing there, but who is going to connect the dots with logistics? Who's going to connect the dots with vendors, with contractors, with the moves, with the architects, with the construction teams? That was me. I think I learned more in my city job in those 2 years than I probably learned in any one place in any 2 years of my life anywhere.
So now you join Tesla. What is your role basically?
I'm a regional service operations manager. The Bay Area. The Bay Area is San Francisco Bay Area. It's a city called Fremont. That is where Tesla has its factory. Correct. I live in Fremont.
That's where most Indians live.
Correct.
I have been to those places. I used to work for Kodak in Sunnyvale, California. So when you were talking about Market Street, Fremont, and all those, everything was coming back to my mind.
Okay.
But I wanted to stop for our viewers and mention this, that you were talking about the city government of San Francisco and how they function. Contrast that to the functioning of our governments here in India.
Yeah.
You talked about so many specialists they're working there, right? Here, everything is about generalists and babus. And that's the reason nothing gets done here.
You're very right, Bhaskar. I think one of the things that sets apart any city here in the US is what I've learned is that it is a two-way street. Governments or organizations don't give you anything without getting asked to do something and without being asked to be accountable. So people will knock at your door and say, you are Department of Technology. What are you doing about this problem in my locality? That accountability has been set forth, and I'd love to. It'll be really awesome to see that kind of accountability, and it is coming in India. If you see, like most departments and most city departments, most central governments, state governments, they have Twitter accounts now, just like corporations. And you can complain to them there, and the public is watching the responses. And it works so well here in the US. Yes, there are problems even here. You can always say, hey, they are slow. And obviously, if you compare them to corporations, they're not as fast as corporations, perhaps. But they want to be as fast as corporations. They try to run as fast, but they also want to be very respectful of the laws and policies. So that is something that I've learned, and would love to even share it with anybody who's working in government in India.
So now, like Ranjula asked you, what's your role in Tesla right now?
Correct. I do after sales service, just like any other vehicle. Once you buy the vehicle, it needs servicing, and it breaks. You need repairs. Tesla is basically a computer on wheels. The fun part is infinite because it is such an awesome machine. We repair cars over the air. Somebody tells I have a problem, you're like, no problem, don't bring the car. And then
get a discount in buying a Tesla?
We do, in the form of, we do. The employees do. Employees get free full self-driving, FSD, which is a value of $10,000.
Wow.
It's a value of $10,000. So, and I have that. I have full self-driving. And very recently, Elon released the beta version of full self-driving, hands-off driving. Like you enter the address and the car will take you. People kind of are surprised with the amount of technology the car just brings with itself. And the simplicity too. Like, I'm amazed at how many knobs and switches and things that there are in other cars now. When I see a Tesla, it's just so simple. Everything is on the screen, and the latest. I don't know if you've had a chance to check out a Plaid, Plaid. That's the
No.
latest Model S. Okay,
Okay.
so type in Model S, S as in Sarah, Plaid, Plaid. That's the new Model S. 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 2 seconds.
Wow.
It is crazy fast, and it is available for people to buy to drive them on the streets of United States. It is just mind blowing to experience that. Ranjul, you will remember the Afterburner taking
Yeah,
off on MiG 21.
yeah, yeah, of course.
It is like that. It's like we have a racetrack here in the Fremont factory, and I experienced that on the racetrack, and it was just amazing. You know what a yoke wheel is? It's like a Formula One steering wheel. They don't have a full wheel, right? They have that rectangular wheel for better
Yeah.
grip and better. So these cars come with that grip, that kind of steering wheel. And where else will you get to kind of experience technology, cutting edge technology, right? Our competition, one of the competitions, Volkswagen, right? Their CEO or one of their technology guys told, after like experiencing Tesla and after learning about Tesla's technology in the car and everything, he made a statement some time ago that other car companies are at least 6 years behind Tesla. Mind you, all these companies, you can vouch for this, Bhaskar. You've seen the Silicon Valley. All these
Yeah.
companies are trying to, wherever they're working in the globe, India, US, Japan, Korea, wherever they are, they're constantly trying to surround themselves with the smartest people and the most hardworking people. They also know that,
Absolutely.
right? Elon is a great example of not just smarts, but extreme hard work. He's not just flaunting his smartness and going around here and there, right? He's working extremely hard, and he's setting an example for people to follow. And
80 to 100 hours a week.
he himself says in one of the interviews, I think he was speaking with an Arab host. The Arab host was talking to him, and he said, like, so many people want to be like you. And Elon says, like, I don't think I would want to be me. And I think after basically what he meant was he would have chosen a different kind of lifestyle, perhaps. Who knows? But this is what he's chosen for himself now, and people are inspired by it, right?
I remember in that interview, he said it's the drive that overrides fear. So he's
Yeah,
not afraid of anything because of his drive to
true.
do and get stuff done, actually. So
Yes, you're absolutely right. And he's failed many a times, and Tesla itself has gone close to bankruptcy more than a couple of
yes.
times. Very serious bankruptcy, I'm talking about. And then saved by a few hours, maybe a day or something, and then brought back into life. So I actually wanted to speak about electric cars, what people are afraid of when it comes to electric cars, and how Tesla has very successfully
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
made that fear go away. And that is basically the range anxiety, right? People always have this range anxiety. Oh my God,
Right.
what if the battery dies? Like, where do I charge? I don't have my friends everywhere. Like, who will charge? Right? Most companies have thought of an electric car, but they've not thought of the range anxiety that customers usually
Yeah.
have. They sell their own cars. They make their own cars. They sell their own cars. By the way, they make their own battery. Okay, the cells are made by Panasonic, but the battery
Okay.
packs are made by Tesla. We make our own seats, by the way. We do our own stamping, the entire car stamping, assembly, everything is done in Tesla. In California, Nevada, like put together, there's another gigafactory in Nevada. We sell the cars, we service the cars, own our own networking, right? Tesla supercharging is fully owned by Tesla.
Station.
One big charger, one cable, one car. That means one parking spot for one car. Sometimes there are 15, sometimes there are 20, there are sometimes more than that. Sometimes there are much fewer, maybe 7 to 8, depending on how much people use that route. Like say, for example, the Bay Area, you've seen how busy it is, and It's one of the largest markets for Tesla, and there's a very thick network. You can Google Tesla superchargers in Bay Area, and you'll see all the red dots, like very dense. And as you go to less denser places, there are fewer. We delivered almost 500,000 cars last year. It might not seem very high by other car manufacturer standards, but for electric cars, there's nobody close to us.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Initially, Teslas were one of the cars in their homes, people's homes. But now Tesla is the car. Like, they don't have any other car. And then very slowly, we have people who own 2 Teslas, and they only own Teslas at home. They don't own anything else.
It is the
420, 450 miles. No, Model 3 is the smallest car. Model Y is the next in terms of price. It is a crossover SUV, right? It's a smaller SUV. Then comes a full-size SUV, which is a Model X,
okay.
which has a falcon wings which open on the side. I don't know if you've seen those, right?
Yeah.
And then the sedan is the Model S. That is a full-size sedan, which comes in plaid and which is super fast. We also have a sports car called Roadster, which is not yet in mass production. Roadster was the very first car Tesla produced way back. And after that, we stopped. We stopped Roadsters. We started actually selling Model S's and X's until 2017-18. Model 3s came up. That is the first mass-produced car for Tesla. Mass-produced in those kind of volumes. S and X is still a very small number when compared to 3s. Then came Ys. A little more than a year ago, we started selling Model Y, which is a crossover SUV. The next is Cybertruck, coming out very soon now, maybe end of this year, maybe beginning next year sometime. Cybertruck is this, it looks like it is from a different world, full of sharp edges, and it's cold rolled steel. Nobody's made a production car out of steel, like cold rolled steel. It is unheard of, no? So I have one on order. Let's see. Hopefully I'll get one soon. Cost is close to 70 for tri-motor,
$70,000.
But it is cheaper than a Model S.
How much? 50 lakh ke aaspas?
50 lakh. 51, 52 lakhs, correct. Range, they say I will get about 500 miles. So we were talking about range, no? So charging capacity, it depends on how fast what generation charger it is. 3rd generation chargers are available now. The other day I was charging at a charging station. It was charging at some crazy 680 miles per hour charge rate. 350 is like what? Like 0 to full battery charge in about 30 minutes.
30? Even iPhone takes around 1 hour.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Exactly.
Here in India, for electric scooters, it takes 4 hours of charging.
These are commercial chargers. Like, you have to go to Tesla supercharger to charge. Overnight charge, what we do is the moment we come home, you put it on charge, and 32 amps pe sara raat 4-5 ghante mein it charges about 200 miles. It's more than enough for daily commuters. We don't even have to think hard about it.
What is the life of the battery?
Great question. Some people have gone up to 500,000 miles. Some people have changed it in 200,000 miles. I think it also depends on how you take care of your battery, just like your phones. Okay. If I abuse my phone a lot, then obviously the battery is not going to last long. To a large extent, yes, these batteries have very long life. The battery is like the engine, right? It's one of the most expensive components. You can get an entirely new battery replaced for your car, anywhere between 11 to 16,000 K.
Okay, there's one more thing, like we are used to a normal, the entire supply chain of the cars. So you have got a manufacturer, then we have got dealership, we go to the dealer, we have got petrol pumps, and thereafter go to a service station, dealer operated service station, or like our Nukkar pe hai, that car servicing guy. Tesla mein kya hai? You buy the car, From
Yeah.
where?
You go to Tesla.com and you order a car. You
Amazing.
configure. Yeah, you configure a car. There is no haggling at all. In the sense, like where there's a dealership model, it's an anxious process. Oh, can I save about $2,000 here? But there, that dealership is giving me free this, free that. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Everything is fixed price. Saying you want a Model 3, you want these kind of wheels, you want that color, you want those kind of seats, this color seats. You want performance model, or you want long range model, or you want a standard range model. You can configure your car on Tesla.com depending on what model you need and what configuration you need. It will also calculate on the right side. It will also beautifully calculate saying, okay, how much money are you saving as against an ICE car, internal combustion engine car. Okay, if you want to lease the car, what amount do you have to do down payment? If you want to buy the car, then what's the full amount? Buying process is very simple. And a vast percentage of our cars are bought even without a test drive. People don't even want to test drive. They already know they want the car. And we have so much demand. We are not producing enough cars to meet the demand. Cars don't sit in our delivery centers at all. The moment they're here, they'll call Ranjul, are you ready to pick up the car? Ranjul's like, oh my God, I didn't know you would call me so soon, or I was not ready for this. Can you wait for another week? They'll tell, don't worry, we'll get back to you. They'll call, Bhaskar, are you ready? Bhaskar will tell, yeah, absolutely, I'm ready with my papers. You'll just
Bring it on.
pick up the car, that's it. We deliver cars to you, by the way.
Wherever in US?
Wherever in US,
Okay.
we even
How
deliver
many,
cars to your
how
home.
many factories do you have?
In the US, we have only one factory. And yeah, because we have service centers everywhere, right?
After so many kilometers, battery run for so much time, you get back for servicing and all that, right?
No, that's a great question. Since there are no moving parts in this car, you hardly have anything for regular servicing. We have customers who have never come to us 2 years, 3 years. They've not even seen the face of a service center.
What about oil? Like they've got like tires and all
There's
that.
no oil. See,
Hydraulics?
the only things that need to be changed in the car are expendable things, right? Consumable things, sorry, like tires, windshield wipers, windshield fluid, right? Cabin air filters.
So all these wheels
But
and all are electrically operated, no hydraulics and all that, na?
if you're talking about fluids, you're talking about brake fluids. Brake fluid, it has got such awesome regenerative brakes that people hardly use brakes in a Tesla. It's all just 1 foot. Accelerator dabaya, then you leave the accelerator, it starts braking. The car starts braking. And then it converts that energy and it into electric energy and puts it back into the battery. So you get range.
What about the second-hand market? Do we have a second-hand market also?
Yeah. Yes. We have a used car market that also we only run. We cannot regulate who the customer sells the car to. So you have a chance to open your own used car model, no doubts about it. So here is the thing, like if you want to open a business with Tesla, to work with Tesla, there's something called TABS, Tesla Approved Body Shop. So there's a little bit of training, there's a little bit of investment you make, get certified by Tesla and become a Tesla Approved Body Shop. Service centers do not do heavy collision work. That you can get some training from Tesla and you can be the certified Tesla approved body shop, operate in the market where there is heavy. Say, for example, if Delhi or Bombay or Bangalore or Hyderabad, Chennai, wherever there are more Teslas, whenever we start selling them, there will be a requirement for a collision center. People do their own repairs even at home. Teslas are not very complex machines, right? So chota mota repairs and all, they do it themselves as well. But there is one catch, right? For customers, if they meddle with certain things, their warranty will get void and all that. So there's also something called mobile technicians. So what we do is we have a technician who takes all the parts in a car and they go drive to the customer's home and we go repair in their home, wherever, their parking lot, whatever. See, you need to understand why all these business models have changed so drastically and departed so significantly from the traditional automotive. That's because Elon's purpose, Elon's aim is to bring down the cost of overall ownership of Tesla customers. You're paying a high enough amount for a car, and then maintenance is nothing. And we'll go out of our way to actually come to you and repair your cars. I'm not here in an official capacity for to speak for Tesla in India, right? But where there is a good Tesla market already, where we'll start opening service centers, there's a great opportunity in sales, in delivery, because delivery also we do, right? Delivery is a different animal altogether. It's not just sales. Sales is maybe on paper. Maybe Ghumaya give a quick test drive and people are interested, and that's it. They'll go buy online or they'll buy in the showroom. But once the car comes, it comes from a port, right? And then we need to get them ready and then deliver them to the customer. In service, you have service advisors, right? Parts advisors, you have service technicians. Service engineering groups will also probably be locally there for larger, like more difficult repairs. Like I said, there are some things on Linux and you'll need to have some computer professionals to fix our infotainment system. The entertainment or the infotainment system, or what you call the multimedia in most cars, right? That system is pretty complex in Tesla. And I think Tesla in India will also need very qualified people to be able to repair cars, driver assistance systems, not just infotainment, driver assistance systems, the autopilot, the lane change, this and that. We have so many cameras all around the car, right? And sensors all around the car. All that requires good expertise, and definitely, I think there's a lot of jobs for engineers, technicians, even from traditional automotive field, and even outside of automotive field. They've established an office, and we are starting off with real estate and everything in certain places within India. Right now, they're all importing. They're importing. They'll be importing
Quite
cars.
huge then in India, actually.
Our cost will be very huge because of that. Correct.
What is Model 3 price like in US?
Oh, US. It starts off at 35K. It goes all the way up beyond even 50, depending on what bells and whistles you have in the car. Same model, same configuration. You can almost double the price in India.
I'm curious about the other products of Tesla, like the Powerwall and those roofings and panels. Can you throw some light on those?
I don't have too much information, but I'll tell you what I know. There are two types of solar products we have right now. Normal panels that you see on the roofs, but another high-end product, which is like Tesla solar tiles. But check it out on Tesla's website, the solar website. They have some great pictures. So these are two types of solar products we have right now. And the power walls, obviously, you store energy in power walls, and then the power walls, you bring the car after a day's worth of driving, it'll draw current from your own source. We have a huge backlog, by the way. Such a huge demand. I think we have an order worth $500 million. 80,000 orders pending.
Why don't you have another factory and all?
We are opening one in Austin. Globally, the first factory was a Fremont factory. The second factory is Shanghai factory. So from Shanghai, cars get exported almost all over the world, I would say. Europe, the Asia Pacific, and of course China. It will probably produce cars for India as well. The third factory is being built in Berlin, actually. I forgot to speak about the semi, the truck. We have electric trucks also coming. Yeah, so it's a pretty cool truck. It looks like you sit in the middle of the truck, like a race car. Absolutely center of the truck with two screens like that, right in front of you. Like, again, very simplistic design. I think range is more than 500 miles or something.
And what's the technology? Is it lithium ion or something else?
Correct. It is mind-boggling. I'd gone to another battery factory we have in Nevada here. It's just purely only for batteries. and drive units and other components. And again, the technology there was so super awesome. So US will soon have 2 factories. In Europe, there'll be one that is in Berlin. Asia has one right now, that is Shanghai.
What is the capacity of these factories like?
It's a little over 1,000 cars a day. Yeah, a day.
So yeah, that's it then. So it has been a
Not-
really interesting session, and like it's really great that we could bring someone who is actually working in Tesla to our chat show. Actually, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Me too. Super
So-
happy
Thank
for
you. Thank you, Bhaskar.
So you
Like
can
a-
drive any model, yeah, while working in Tesla.
Yeah, we can drive any model, right? As long as you're in work, you're
Oh.
going from one place of work to another and all that.
Oh, not
Absolutely,
bad.
that's one of the perks, right? It's one of the perks, especially if you're going long distance or anything. It is pretty awesome.
And you never know next time.
Mix.
Yeah, you can see you in the SpaceX also in the program. And all the best, dear Huck.
Hopefully, thank you so much.
And nice.
Thank
to
you so
It
much
was
for having me.
wonderful listening to you, Hawk.
Thank you so much, Bhaskar. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, both of you. Say again?
It's good night to you.
Yeah, it's already 11:40.
Oh,
I hope I've told you everything accurately. I'm already very sleepy, so.
Okay then. You. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You have a great day,
Bye,
both of
Randana.
you.